podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, the pregame show, in fact. I'm your host, Rudo, with AJ Hafley on the pregame show tonight, talking Avs versus Vancouver. So far, the Avs are 0-2 in the pregame show era, AJ. I guess 0-1-1, really. So, yet to win on the DNVR pregame show.
This is a fake era.
It's a fake era?
Yeah.
All right, not real?
Yeah.
Confirmed?
Yeah.
Look, the game notes are adventurous.
Man, your food smells good. Why couldn't you leave it on the bar like a human?
I gotta show it off.
Me.
I gotta show it off to the people, all right?
Oh, yeah.
They gotta know what they're missing.
Should have showed off.
Yeah, you should have brought your wings down here, too.
What was I doing?
Avs getting some bodies returning to the lineup. Avs also losing some bodies from the lineup, particularly a very big body.
Like the body?
The body of the team.
The body. Yeah, there is plenty of seating at the bar tonight. It's Thursday. It's a home game.
Yep, if you want to come on down, come down.
If the bar is ever completely full for a non-playoff game.
If it's a non-weekend game, it's never full.
During a weekday, and when it's at home, something is happening. Something is taking place.
Something strange is going on,
exactly.
for sure.
No, it's not neither one of us got the burger. We talk about the burger all the time, and combined, we probably only get the burger once every couple of times we're here.
The burger is a meal, all right? I want to put it a certain way, because when on game days I get here, I have my food, which is more of like a snack to me, really, before the game, and then I watch the game and I'm good. The Wagyu burger is like a full-on dinner.
Yeah. It's a meal.
Yeah. So, I'd still recommend it. Delicious, but you got to be hungry if you want that thing.
Definitely.
Anyway, yeah.
Point being, the defense is finally intact. For the first time all season, we're seeing the Avalanche actual defense.
Yep.
It may not be what we would prefer with Jack Johnson over Ryan Murray, but I think we've seen this one coming for a little while now.
Yeah, we've been Evan leading that charge of saying Jack Johnson has outplayed Murray since game 2 of the season, basically.
Yep.
So not a huge surprise there, and I think when we get to our bets, it will reflect the Avs defense being intact.
Yes,
so
I think so too.
So we'll get to that a little bit, but obviously the Avs expectations are playing to their strengths right now, and that's going to be their defense, because no Nathan Mackinnon for the next 3 weeks.
It has to be their defense, really. They've got to lean into it, because, when Colorado's defense is at its best, you're talking about a group that breaks pucks out aggressively and drives the puck up the ice.
Yep.
So when you're talking about where do you make up the offense from McKinnon being missing, I think it's not the forward stepping up. It's not JT Compher in the middle of Landeskog and Rantanen, but it's rather the defense driving play. I think it's the defense. Yep. And look, if we can get the real Sam Girard back,
will he please stand up?
Yeah, the real. Would you notice if he did? I mean,
wow.
Like, if you can get the true G to show up, you're going to be in great shape.
Yep.
Devontae's looked great in his first game.
Agreed.
Bowen Byram continues to be very good. If you can get Cale Makar and Sam Girard humming along,
even at
the level that we expect from them,
85% is enough there.
I was going to say 80. Yeah. Would be totally happy with 80.
Yep.
Then I think that you're in a very, very good position, and you aren't worrying too much about the Johnson and Johnson pairing.
Yeah, you just need them to hold down the third pair, right?
Don't make mistakes. Don't give it up.
Yep.
So I love this, by the way. I don't know about an LOC goal, but I love the idea that Alex Newhook gets a point.
I did not take that bet. I probably should have. It might not be an option.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked. I did not dig too far into
Me
the
either.
bets.
I saw 3 bets I really liked right away and was like, okay, good.
Jumped.
Done. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. The Avs defense has to be effective at both ends of the ice. And
yes,
this is a defense where, look, it's hard to compare to last year, because last year the Avs' underlying metrics were not sustainable. They were
too good, and it's what drove a lot of the models to have them as like the President's Trophy winning team by a country mile this year. And it was why we were all like, these are going to look bad.
Relative, yeah.
I mean, we all kind of expected the Avs to win the division comfortably. that's obviously going to be a whale of... If they do
They
that...
got work to do that.
If they do that,
yeah.
it's a pretty good accomplishment because no MacKinnon for month 2. Month 1 did not go well.
Pretty poor, yeah.
Yeah, so that would be an accomplishment at this point. But, yeah, as you were saying, what we saw from them last year was unsustainable. On the good side of things, where you're just like, that no team has ever done this before.
With that being said, this is still a defense capable of limiting the team to 20 to 25 shots a night.
Definitely, it should absolutely be. It should be the best defense in the NHL.
Yeah.
And when you consider the puck skill, when you consider that Sam Girard is really the only guy that you would say doesn't like contact.
Yep.
Because Makar, Taves,
no problem
and
with
Byram,
it. Yep.
all of those guys are fine. And then neither Johnson just wants pressure. It's not about contact.
They'll play into bodies, no problem.
Yeah,
but
it's their decision making is the thing that you have a problem with, and it doesn't. That's a general with the puck.
it's a
and
third
not
pairing, folks.
Well, and like Eric Johnson on a third pairing is a wild thing to see.
yeah, that's a W right there for sure.
I mean, we're talking what a huge difference he might have made in any playoff series the last couple of years
No
that he's been
kidding.
healthy.
Yep.
You know, what does he do against Dallas? What does he do last year against Vegas? If there's no need for a Patrick Nemeth at the deadline, because Eric Johnson is healthy, does he make a noticeable difference? I bet he does.
And we've talked about EJ a lot. Maybe his decision making isn't the best, but his raw talent and ability to make an individual play gets him away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So to have something like that on your third pairing,
Yeah.
boy, that's nice.
Definitely. And, I mean, Cale Makar should have won the Norris last year, so...
Yeah. Dude,
he's already...
dude's pretty good.
Yeah, he's already in the elite conversation.
He has not played particularly well this year and is still
Definitely.
really good compared to the rest of the league.
And even when you get into, his underlying numbers and what it looks like, they're really good. It's just that we've seen such special levels from Cale Makar
Yeah.
that when we just get merely good or solid, it's a letdown.
It is.
And when you're paying a guy $9 million, it's fair for you to be like,
gotta
hey,
be special. Yeah.
You've got to be a dude here.
Speaking of which, we did this kind of backwards. We talked about the defense first, game notes kind of second.
Yeah, I thought they kind of folded into each other because we talked.
They do.
The lineup is what we, as we've been talking about all week, kind of as expected, except no MacKinnon.
Yep.
And Nichushkin is back. I'm really curious to see what a difference he makes because we don't think of him as a high impact guy, but on a forward core that has had several no impact guys,
Well,
a medium sized impact could be a pretty big deal here.
and specifically Val. This is a hockey team that you've watched get 1-goal leads and then give up fast break after fast break after fast break.
Yeah.
And you're asking Val to be the dude that he is and be a stalwart defensive forward
Definitely.
and stop nonsense from that happening.
100%.
So I think particularly if the Avs can get out to a lead in this game, Val could be a very big boon to a forward core that has struggled with puck possession and defense this year.
Well, and I'm really interested. They've got Newhook at center.
Yep.
And they have him with LOC and Jost. So defensively, you're like, this line should
gonna be
fuck.
some action going on there.
I think this line should be kind of nasty, dude. It should be a problem.
Yep.
And you're talking in theory crafting anyway. This line should give them a handful.
Yeah,
you have Tyson Jost, who's just a really smart
stalwart
player.
defensive guy again.
A very good defense.
And then you have
defensive
Newhook
forward.
and LOC who should be like bees buzzing around all over the place.
And I'm really curious. You always wonder, what does the demotion do to a guy when he comes back? What is it?
Motivated is he?
Because
Yeah.
this is the first time in Alex Newhook's career that he was not going up.
Yep.
In trajectory.
His entire life.
Since he was pretty much since he left for Victoria, the BCHL.
Yep.
He has been on a straight
moonshot.
ascension.
Yeah.
And this was the first time that he got knocked down a peg.
Yep.
And so it'll be very interesting what happens with him back in the lineup, with him back in the middle of the ice where we think he's more comfortable than on wing,
Definitely.
which is where he has spent most of his NHL time. what does that look like, and is that line able to make a little something happen together? Because I think on paper it's a fun line.
Well, and we talked about this a little bit before too. You're hoping it's the same trajectory that he had at BC, where he got onto that team, started a little bit slow, then they finally moved him to center, and it was just
he took off.
it. Yeah,
he got Matt Boldy next to him, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Is putting Tyson Jost or Logan O'Connor next to him
is the key piece or whatever?
Yeah, is that what's going to help Alex Newhook take off here?
Maybe.
Because if he can lock down their third line center spot and actually give them the offense that Jost hasn't been, huge.
Yeah.
That's a huge development for you.
Exactly. And that's the key, right? I talked about Val's defense, but what the Avs desperately need now more than ever with MacKinnon out is depth production.
Yeah.
It just has to come.
Scoring by committee.
Yep.
You're just gonna need it more often from those bottom six guys, because when you have MacKinnon, you need it, but you can live without it on some nights. This is gonna be a lot harder to live without.
Yep.
And that's, I mean, with JT Compher as your first line center, we'll just roll right into it. JT Compher as your 1C. You're talking about you need him to kind of continue the production, the point per game thing that he's been up to.
Yep.
It's a little unfair to ask him to keep playing at that level, but the one thing that cannot happen is that he cannot get in the middle of Landeskog and Rantanen
and kill plays.
Crater.
Nope.
That line. Because as much as that line has been a frustration to this point, analytically, they're still kicking ass left and right. They're still creating tons of scoring chances.
They need to finish.
They just haven't finished. That's been their problem, is finished. And if Compher gets on that line and all of a sudden that line gets its head kicked in,
you're in trouble.
You cannot have him there.
Yep.
You would sooner put Alex Newhook there than continue with JT Compher in that spot.
Yep.
You cannot let him drag down your top line. It can't happen. They're too important.
Agreed. There is no doubt that if you see that line get cratered, the obvious factor there is going to be Compher. It's Mikko and Landeskog have not had trouble possessing pucks in the offensive zone. So I'm curious to see how blendy it gets with Bednar tonight, particularly if things don't start well.
I hope not too, but you're right. If it's a slow start, you can't be married to this.
Yep, definitely have to recognize who's playing well and who's not in a situation like this.
The quick switch with Kadri between those two guys, I think, is the real big key there.
Yep.
Is you can't be shy. You can't be too shy about doing that. You wanted to see what that second line looked like, and now you're kind of going out of your way to give it a chance to do something, but at the expense of your first line.
Well, and look, and Kadri is producing in that role so far this season, so I understand you not wanting to shake it up.
Yeah, I'm good with them starting this way, but if Compher ends up being a drag, when every time he's ever gotten an extended look in a top six, we've seen what happens.
It falls apart pretty fast.
He just isn't that caliber of player.
Yep.
And when he was, he's moving around, we've seen the versatility this year. We've seen him get back to a productive player.
Now, do you think it helps that line at all, the fact that the Avs have always willingly had Landeskog and even Rantanen in recent times take faceoffs?
What do you mean? Like,
with MacKinnon in the lineup, the Avs are more than willing to not have MacKinnon take faceoffs.
Sure.
So I'm saying, does that take a little bit of the pressure off of Compher to be the center on that line when they have other options when it comes to things like faceoffs and getting the possession of the puck immediately on when they throw that line out?
Maybe. I would say yeah. Just because the way that Landeskog sometimes plays F3 anyway, and the way that he takes the faceoffs on the left side, and he'll take the depending on who's the other guy taking. He might take the center ice faceoff
if it's a good matchup.
Yeah, but then the right side faceoffs will still be Compher, as they are MacKinnon. But I guess yes. Like, he doesn't have to go in and do. He doesn't have to go in and do all of the heavy lifting.
It's one less thing
job
on the checklist for him.
His job is going to be defensively You have to be responsible. And the thing is that he's going to be going against top lines.
Yep. Much tougher competition.
Yeah, Jared Bednar is probably not going to try and hide JT Compher very much. The trust is there.
Yep.
However you feel about that trust, we'll see. But Kyle Burroughs has actually been decent for Vancouver this year. It's been cool to see.
Yeah.
As a Kyle Burroughs guy.
Live the dream, man.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever down on a guy getting his. Go get that opportunity and earn it, man.
We're pretty pro player when it comes to if a guy gets an opportunity elsewhere, go get it, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't feel bad. And see Rocco Grimaldi and Blake Como on waivers at the same time today, and it was just like, what if they claimed them both?
Run it back.
Yeah, like get the 17-18 abs back together.
Sad Martin Kaut noises.
Mark Barbario's like, guys,
dude, I will terminate this contract in Switzerland.
I was actually thinking about Barbs today. Yeah, because I was having a conversation with one of our listeners about the one thing that we have not talked about this year about this Avalanche team that's badly been lacking is the fun factor.
Yeah,
this has been a really
it feels like a very serious team this year for sure.
It's been a really tight-knit group that has always just really liked playing hockey together.
Yeah.
And when you talk about, they've lost guys like Tyson Barrie, they've lost guys like Pierre-Edouard Bellemare over the years, like those more jovial personalities.
Yeah.
And you have a lot more of the serious, like Nathan MacKinnon, like freaking out at everybody. Like who's the goofball?
Gotta lighten the mood a little bit.
Like who's the goofball? We saw the Rockies go through this when they lost Gerardo Parra and Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah,
you didn't have that guy that just loved life, that just loved coming to the ballpark every day.
They didn't have
and it made it harder to get out of a losing streak. And I wonder, like right now, being not having been in that room now for 18 months or whatever.
Sure.
What
does that dynamic look like?
Yeah, 2 years, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
Who in that room is the goofy?
Who's the mushroom?
Like jovial personality. EJ isn't it? It's not EJ.
You got to know who the mushroom is at all times. All right.
Like I'm so curious to know like who's the heel. Because like even like Tyson Jost, even JT Compher, they're very serious. Like the Halloween video is hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But like when they're in the room, they're very serious guys.
Yep.
It's not EJ. EJ's that way too. EJ is very like got a job to do.
He wants to win. They all want to win, but there are people that have more fun playing the game than being the dead set on everything has to be.
I mean, I think about Gerardo Parra a lot.
Yep.
Because he was that guy for a Rockies team, Arenado and Story and Blackman, those guys all took things very, very seriously. And Parra was that guy that just, like, he's legend.
Lighten up a little bit.
He's legend for the Nationals because he was the one who started the whole Baby Shark nonsense with them.
Yep.
Like, just that fun guy. I don't know that it is Byram.
It's not Byram.
I don't know that it is.
It could be, but
that's the thing. We don't know. We haven't been in there, and without having been in there, it's hard to say. But you can also tell these guys aren't having a lot of fun right now.
Yep.
And I think that the fun factor is a really, really, really important thing. And like winning a game and losing two and then winning one and losing two. Of course you're not going to have very much fun.
Have we drilled down to the real reason Jason Megna's in the lineup every night?
Yeah, maybe he's just a great time.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sampo brought some of that. Because Sampo's that guy. But he's also a fresh-faced rookie that hasn't scored in 10 games.
Yeah.
Who's down on his confidence. I'm not sure he's going to the rink every day being like, hey, what's up, guys? Like,
right. He's not feeling himself at the moment.
Exactly.
For sure, yeah.
So I'm really wondering like where that's coming from. So I just wonder. So just a thing to think about, the fun factor. If they start to really lean into having a good time, I think you might see things
turn up a little bit. Yeah.
Like having one of those like old school Avalanche first periods that we've seen in recent years
where they go
up 3-0. Yeah. Like on opening night where they just go out, they get on top of a team, they bury them, they build off of it, they're having a great time, the crowd is vibing, they're vibing.
It turns into a 6-0 kind of blowout sort of game.
You're feeling it, man. Where you're just like, this is what's up. So,
Jumbo would be the exact type of dude.
that
would be so fun.
Yeah,
I don't know how much he'd actually help the team, but
I just wonder, because hey, you need a guy like that. Curtis McDermott was supposed to do it, and so far hasn't accomplished anything he was brought in to do.
Unfortunately, you got to be able to play a little bit of hockey.
So anyway, just a thing that I wanted to think about.
You got the segue covered. Speaking of good times, we have our bets for the game tonight.
Yeah.
I'll start us off here. Look,
make sure I get mine
we've
right.
talked a lot about the defense tonight. We talked about JT Compher, but Mikko Rantanen has got to be the man on the offensive side of the puck for the Avs tonight.
Yep.
It's his ship to drive now. So I'm taking Mikko first-time scorer at plus 750. AJ, I know you got a couple of bets with him.
I've got Mikko Rantanen as anytime scorer, and Mikko Rantanen, I'm taking the over 3.5 on shots on goal.
Good, solid bets right there. I think those are pretty safe.
I think that those have to drive the bus a little bit.
Yeah. The Avs definitely need a little bit of that. Mikko's gotta show up and do the thing tonight, as he is the most offensive player in the lineup tonight. Full stop.
Yep. He really and with 5 points in 7 games.
Yep.
Mikko
waiting for it.
Mikko Rantanen has been playing at a point per game pace for 3 years.
Yep.
So to see him at 5 points in 7 games,
down. That's down for him. Yeah. Where is it, bud?
What's going on here? Even without McKinnon, I want to see it.
Yep. Let's get it going.
We need to see the Moose a little bit here.
Get it going. Got the Moose shirt on even, so make it happen. I also took what feels like the best odds in the entire game to me was Nazem Kadri plus 210 to get 1 assist.
An assist.
Singular assist.
An assist for Nazem Kadri, who's been at a point per game pace.
Yeah.
Is going to be even more important. Could reasonably end up between Rantanen and Landeskog by the end of the night.
Second period of the game. Feels pretty good on the 1 assist for Kadri, so
I'm feeling the Avs tonight in general.
Yeah, I like it.
So I've got them covering the 1.5, and I'm also combining that with taking the under of 5.5.
Get the parlay odds right there.
The Avs win 3-1.
Avs win 3-1.
That's basically what I'm doing. Is I'm taking the in-game parlay and trying to win a
good amount of money. Good chunk of change right there. I love it. I love the 3-1 score line because my last bet was I'm taking the defense in Compher here. I have Vancouver under 1.5. Didn't go in on a final score for the Avs, but I'm taking Vancouver's only scoring 1 tonight. I think the Avs are going to show up on that defensive side, and we're going to see I don't want to call it a classic Avs defensive performance because this defense hasn't been together long enough to put any classics together, maybe.
True.
But I don't think Vancouver is going to find a lot of traction in the offensive zone
this is the
game.
defense. This is the defense. This top 4 is the defense that you project moving forward for the next several years for the Avalanche.
Yep.
This is the first time they will have really played in the game
together year.
Without the caveats of all of the weirdness,
significant nonsense going on.
Yeah, and with Byram as like a true rookie, I do want to see really, really quickly if there's a
looking Alex up some odds on Alex Newhook right here. Let's see what he can find. While we're waiting on the Newhook odds, there are a lot of interesting bets at the depth side of this. I think EJ was plus like 700 for anytime goal scorer. He's already got 1 this year. Not a bad option, in my opinion. You could go that way with it.
Yeah, he's not even on this list for scoring a goal at all.
They didn't even put him on there?
Yeah,
it's too crazy.
I can bet on Dylan Sakura to score a goal, but I can't bet on
on Newhook.
EJ as an anytime scorer is at 750.
There you go. So that's a solid one right there.
Kyle Burrows as an anytime scorer is 1,200. Jack Johnson's 14. Jack Johnson has lower odds than Kyle Burrows to score tonight. That's kind of crazy.
That's pretty brutal. Well, I don't know. Kyle Burrows has the X-team factor going on, all right?
I guess.
It's a strong pull, the X-team factor. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they don't let me do any kind of Newhook points. They only let you bet on points for, like, the regular suspects.
Yeah. Newhook will be a regular suspect soon enough, but
they should probably put him back on the app as a guy that you can bet on in general.
Yeah, probably.
I'd imagine that the Jacob McDonald bet probably isn't getting a lot of action right now.
gonna be tough to find people putting money on that. I would think.
You could at least put.
That's the bet that they put on there that they can't figure out the odds though. So they're like New Hook, anytime score plus 150 or something.
Yeah, I mean that's. I was gonna try and see what the New Hook odds were for him to score and do anything offensively, and never mind.
So wait till next game, and then New Hook will be on there.
Yeah, when you can't bet on him, he's gonna go off, and then when you can, they just take your money. Not cool.
All right, we're about 10 minutes away or less from puck drop, so we're gonna wrap this thing up. Thank you everyone for hanging out for the pregame show. You know you can find us live post game as well. We'll be here breaking it all down. Hopefully, a little bit more of a positive post game show if things go the Avs' way, but we'll see.
Just us too.
Just the two of us hanging.
Yeah,
doing the vibe. Jesse's got the in arena stuff going on, so
I'm so excited to not have to write a post game article.
You get to be lazy for once,
dude. I get to do a podcast and go home.
Yeah, what's that like?
I don't know. I've never done it.
All right, we are out of here. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you in about 3 hours. Until then, enjoy the game.